Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel HGK Online Education. In this video we will discuss about second part of environmental engineering quick revisions lectures, which will include chemical water quality parameters. Here firstly we will discuss about total dissolved solids, that is TDS. Total dissolved solids is measured with the help of diionic tester or TDS meter. It is measured with the help of finding the electrical resistivity or electrical conductivity of water. Generally, dissolved solids are present in the ionic form, which allow the electrical conductivity. So remember one of the important formula in the case of total dissolved solids. So TDS in mg per liter is equal to electrical conductivity in mu mho per centimeter multiplied by 0.65. So this is important formula in the case of total dissolved solids. Remember this one. Total dissolved solid is an approximate method. Acceptable limit of TDS is 500 mg per liter and rejection limit of TDS is 2000 mg per liter. So here acceptable limit and rejection limit is the very important for the exam point of view. Now second chemical water quality parameter is pH. The pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. pH with 7 being neutral. If pH ranges from 0 to 7, it is acidic, and if pH is ranges in between 7 to 14, it is basic. Here also remember that acid causes corrosion and base causes incrustation. Here pH plus POH is equal to 14. This is important. For the strong acid, pH is equal to 0. So here we can say that pH is equal to 0. So concentration of H plus ions is equal to 10 raised to 0. Okay. And here in the case of strong acid, POH is equal to 14. So concentration of OH minus ions is equal to 10 raised to minus 14. Okay. Here concentration of OH minus is 10 raised to minus 14 in the case of strong acid. And in the case of strong base, condition is opposite. So here pH is 14. So concentration of H plus ion is 10 raised to minus 14 in the case of strong base, and POH is equal to 0. That is, we can say that concentration of OH minus, it is equal to 10 raised to 0. So these are the condition for the strong base and strong acid. So remember this one also. Here concentration of H plus ions and OH minus ion, multiplication of these ions is, here concentration of H plus ion is what? 10 raised to 0. So it is equal to 10 raised to 0 multiplied by concentration of OH minus ion. It is 10 raised to minus 14 into 10 raised to minus 14. So we will get 10 raised to 0 minus 14. It is equal to 10 raised to minus 14. So multiplication of concentration of H plus ion and OH minus ion, it will be 10 raised to minus 14. Remember this one. Now next one is the unit conversion. So here 1 mole per liter is equal to, if we have to convert this mole per liter in gram per liter, then 1 mole per liter is equal to 1 into molecular weight. Then we will get this value is in gram per liter. So 1 mole per liter is equal to 1 into molecular weight in gram per liter. And if we multiplied this gram per liter value by 10 raised to 3, then we will get this value in mg per liter, that is milligram per liter. So remember this unit conversion. Now measurement of pH. Measurement of pH is done by the pH meter or potentiometer, in which colonel electrodes are used. Okay, which electrodes are used? Colonel electrodes are used. It can also be measured by aquascope, in which color indicators are used like methyl orange, phenolphthalein, bromethyl blue, etc. Acceptable pH limit is 7 to 8.5 and rejection pH limit is what? Less than 6.5 and greater than 9.2. So acceptable pH limit and rejection pH limit, these values are very important for the exam point of views. So here remember that acceptable pH limit is what? 7 to 8.5 and rejection pH limit is less than 6.5 and greater than 9.2. Third chemical water quality parameter is hardness. Here following three conditions must be satisfied in the case of hardness. First one is multivalent cations, second one is compound and third one is dissolved solids. So firstly multivalent cations like Ca plus 2, Mg plus 2, Al plus 3, Fe plus 2, Fe plus 3, these will be present in the water, so it will be hard water. Then next one is compounds. There are 5 compounds. So firstly we will discuss about compounds. So we know that there are two types of hardness. First one is temporary hardness, or temporary hardness is also known as carbonate hardness. Second type of hardness is permanent hardness, or permanent hardness is also known as non-carbonate hardness. So here compounds of temporary or carbonate hardness are CO3 2 minus and HCO3 minus. Compounds of permanent and non-carbonate hardness are NO3 minus, Cl minus and SO4 2 minus. So this temporary hardness can be removed by simple boiling or addition of lime. Simple boiling or addition of lime. This permanent hardness can be removed by the use of special techniques termed as softening techniques. So this temporary hardness or carbonate hardness is caused due to CO3 2 minus, HCO3 minus, and permanent or non-carbonate hardness is caused due to NO3 minus, Cl minus and SO4 minus. So remember these points. Okay. So next one is the, here we will discuss about temporary and permanent hardness. This temporary hardness can be removed by simple boiling or addition of lime, and permanent hardness is removed by the use of special techniques termed as softening techniques. Now impact of this hardness. So due to the hardness of water, it makes the food tasteless, okay, and increased consumption of soap. Hardness free water is needed for the boiler. It also indicates the laxative effect in the water, and here MgSO4 is greater than 50 mg per liter and CaSO4 will be greater than 250 mg per liter. Here one thing note that this hardness can be determined by the titration with the 0.01 molar EDTA, that is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid solution, EDTA 0.01 molar EDTA solution using EBT as a indicator. Okay, this EDTA solution is also known as Wurtznet solution. So remember this is very important point. EDTA solution is also known as Wurtznet solution. EBT means what? EBT is the Erythrochrome black tea. So here acceptable and rejection limit of CaCO3 is, acceptable limit is 200 mg per liter and rejection limit is 600 mg per liter. Here remember, for domestic water, range of hardness is in between 75 to 150 mg per liter. Important formula for the calculation of total hardness as CaCO3 in mg per liter is equal to concentration of multivalent cation in mg per liter multiplied by equivalent weight of CaCO3, which is 50, divided by equivalent weight of that multivalent cation. Okay, so this equivalent weight can be calculated by using the formula equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight divided by valency. So this formula will be useful for the calculation of total hardness as CaCO3 in mg per liter. Now we will discuss about hardness as CaCO3 in mg per liter and degree of hardness. If hardness is in between 0 to 55, then it is soft water. If hardness is in between 56 to 100, it is slightly hard water. If hardness is in between 101 to 200 mg per liter, it is moderately hard water. And if hardness is in between 201 to 500, it is very hard water. So remember this table properly. Now fourth chemical water quality parameter is alkalinity. Alkalinity is the measurement of quantity of ions present in the water that are capable of neutralizing the hydronium, that is H plus ions. Alkalinity is due to the anions presence in the water, such as carbonate alkalinity, that is Ca3 2 minus, then bicarbonate alkalinity, that is HCO3 minus, caustic alkalinity, that is OH minus ions, HPO minus, Cl minus, etc. So this alkalinity can be of three types. CO3 minus, CO3 2 minus, it is known as carbonate alkalinity. HCO3 minus is known as bicarbonate alkalinity, and OH minus is called as caustic alkalinity. Okay, so in the case of alkalinity, 0.02 normal H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, is used for the titration and color indicators are used. This is very important statement. 0.02 normal H2SO4 is used. H2SO4 means sulfuric acid. So this 0.02 normal H2SO4 is used for the titration and color indicators are used. So here this is very important table: color name, working range and color change. So if we use methyl orange as a color indicator, so its working range is in between 2.8 to 4.4 and color changes red to yellow. If color bromethyl blue color, working range is 6 to 7.6 and color changes from yellow to blue. Then if we use color indicators phenolphthalein, its working range is 8.6 to 10.3, then color changes from yellow to colorless or purple to red. So remember this table. Now formula for the determination of alkalinity is alkalinity as CaCO3 in mg per liter is equal to concentration of calcium carbonate, that is CO3 2 minus in mg per liter multiplied by equivalent weight of, here it is CaCO3 minus, CaCO3, equivalent weight of CaCO3 in mg per liter, which is 50, divided by equivalent weight of CO3 2 minus, that is calcium carbonate, which is equivalent weight of CO3 minus is 30, plus concentration of HCO3 minus in mg per liter multiplied by equivalent weight of CaCO3, so equivalent weight of CaCO3 is 50, divided by equivalent weight of HCO3, that is bicarbonate, so equivalent weight of HCO3 minus is 61. So here directly given the equivalent weight of this calcium carbonate and bicarbonate. Now here one thing note that total hardness is equal to carbonate hardness plus non-carbonate hardness. Total hardness is equal to carbonate hardness plus non-carbonate hardness. But carbonate hardness is what? If we have to give alkalinity and total hardness, so minimum value between alkalinity and total hardness is the carbonate hardness. And here if we know the carbonate hardness and total hardness, then we will calculate the non-carbonate hardness. So here remember, this is very important for the exam point of view. Some problems are given in the exam in the case of total hardness. So total hardness is equal to carbonate hardness plus non-carbonate hardness, and carbonate hardness is the minimum of alkalinity and total hardness. Fifth chemical water quality parameter is the nitrogen content. Nitrogen content indicates the presence of organic matter in the water. So here nitrogen is present in any of the following form. It will be in the form of free ammonia or organic ammonia or nitrite or nitrate. So free ammonia indicates recent pollution, and it is 0.15 mg per liter. Okay, then organic ammonia, its value is 0.30 mg per liter. So remember these values. Free ammonia is 0.15 mg per liter, organic ammonia is 0.30 mg per liter. So this free ammonia and organic ammonia are known as the Zellder's ammonia. So free ammonia plus organic ammonia is known as Zellder's ammonia. This is very important point for the exam point of view. So many exam, this is very important point. Then next one is nitrite, that is NO2 minus. Nitrite indicates the partial decomposition, that is presence of microorganism or microbes in the water. So nitrite indicates the partial decomposition or presence of microorganisms or microbes in the water. So it is 0 mg per liter. Next one is the nitrate, that is NO3 minus. It indicates old pollution and its value is 45 mg per liter. So if nitrate content is in excess, then it may leads to blue baby disease or blue baby syndrome or methemoglobinemia. So this is very important point. Here its limit is given. So if nitrate content is in excess amount, then it may leads to blue baby disease or blue baby syndrome or methemoglobinemia. So these disease names are important. This nitrate determined by color matching technique, in which the color is induced by disulfuric acid and potassium hydroxide. Next chemical water quality parameter is chloride content. This chloride content indicates the industrial and agricultural pollution. This is important point. It can be determined by Mohr's method. Acceptable limit of chloride content is 250 mg per liter, or in some books it is given by 200 mg per liter. So both will be correct. So acceptable limit of chloride content is 250 mg per liter or 200 mg per liter. Then rejectable limit of chloride content is 1000 mg per liter. Remember this acceptable and rejectable limit of chloride content. Now next and last chemical water quality parameter is fluoride content. So up to the 1 mg per liter fluoride is required to prevent dental cavities. Remember, up to 1 mg per liter fluoride is required to prevent dental cavities. If concentration of this fluoride is greater than 1.5 mg per liter, then it will causes dental fluorosis, or it is also known as only fluorosis. If concentration of fluoride is greater than 5 mg per liter, then it will causes bone fluorosis. Now, acceptable limit of fluoride content is 1 mg per liter and rejection limit of fluoride content is 1.5 mg per liter. Now, next one is the toxic metals present in the water are the arsenic, lead, cadmium, mercury, boron, silver, etc. Non-toxic metals present in the waters are sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, copper, aluminium, etc. Next one is the sodium. High concentration of sodium induced bad taste in the water and also affect hearts and kidney. Sodium is also toxic for plants. Next one, copper. High concentration of copper affect the respiratory system. It also induces the laxative effect due to CuSO4. Next one is the iron and manganese. Iron and manganese induces color problem in the water. If excess iron, then it will give reddish brown color in water, and if excess manganese is present, then it will give yellowish color to the water. Okay, so here we will discuss about chemical water quality parameters. So if you like this video, then please subscribe this channel and press the like button. So thanks for watching.